Now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past. And tonight, we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions. Brandon Garden and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you for this one. And Charles, the Ravens, they've done it again. Champions of the AFC. Remember, they won Super Bowl 47 back in February of 2013, but had not won so much as a playoff game since then.
And remember, the franchise moved from Cleveland, but they started as a true fresh franchise. They didn't take the Browns with them. They became the Ravens. That was 1996. Won a Super Bowl over the Giants. Was that Super Bowl 35 in Tampa. They've won it twice overall, trying to win another one. And there's always a trademark when you think about the Ravens, right? The way they play defense, the way they run the football, how tough and hard-nosed they are as an organization. Trying to do it one more time.
Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they are back again in the big game. It's their fourth appearance, but all coming since the year 2000, Charles.
They've been in it 3 times total, right? Lost 2 prior, right? Lost once in Detroit to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember, Mike Holmgren was the head coach of that team. And then they lost that heartbreaker to the New England Patriots when Russell Wilson was picked off. But the win, oh, it was magnificent. That was back in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area, Super Bowl 48. And remember, they just rolled over the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning in that one. They'd like to have that kind of performance again in this one.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now a handoff looking right. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
36 power.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And a give this time to the tailback. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken near the 13. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Jackson from the shotgun. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field.
23 to give this time to the tailback. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Check 48. Come on. Hey. Go. 48.
They'll try and run forward Barkley. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And Myers able to knock it through, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Jackson. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
I'm going to run you over.
Now Jackson throwing again. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line. Jackson on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here we go. Mike 54. Mike 54. Switch up.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Throwing is Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Taking it about the 16. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Jadeveon Clowney able to drop him for a loss of a couple. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Throwing is Jackson. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
It's 2nd and 8 at the Seahawks 24-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson stepping up. He's going to keep it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Jackson. Got a man that's caught for a Ravens touchdown. From 4 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
The run on first down gets them a couple up to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
25, 25.
Now a handoff looking right. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Third and 2, now Wilson. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit.
1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Slam. Hey, alert. Go.
On 2nd down and 4, Wilson. And this will be incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he comes back with one complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Open man has got one. It's complete. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson dancing to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often...
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. L.J. Collier brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Jackson now trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell, it'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now Wilson down around his goal line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rush.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, you got 3 down, 3 down.
Now Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded at the 20. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now it's Jackson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And a timeout comes in. The whistle's blown with 3 seconds remaining.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. One last shot for Jackson. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood.